Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 7th tutorial. In this tutorial we're gonna analyze our building with a color range. So I have a building right here, I draw it myself. I will put this file in the description so you guys can use it. Just pay attention, it's a Revit 2016 file. So if you have 2015, I'm sorry guys, but I don't think you can open it. I'm not sure, but alright, and what we're going to do in this video is we're going to analyze our fire resistance of the walls. So, for example, I already made in this file a parameter with it's called fire, and I can add in a number. So, in this case, this wall protects us for 30 minutes of fire. So, and now I want to make it visible. For example, I have another wall here, but this is 90. So normally in Revit you can use a filter, or you can just do it yourself with override graphics in view and by element. And a little window pops up and you can say here surface pattern. Well, I want it to be green or red. Let's use red. Alright, red, and pattern I want it solid so I can see it. Alright, and apply. And as you can see, now our wall is red. And if we make a filter for ourselves, or a list, and we say red is always 30 minutes or more, then you can see in one blink of an eye which wall is 30 minutes, which wall is 60 minutes, which wall is 90 minutes. And if you have colored all your elements, you can analyze it really quickly, especially because it's in 3D. You can do it in your floor plans or your ceiling plans or in your elevations, but I recommend to do this in 3D because you see it's really easy to go everywhere in your model. And you can also say section box, put it on, and I can slice through my model. So if I don't see anything correctly, I can slice through it, and you can already see if I slice through it, it doesn't get the red color, and that's because you have to go in your element and say, let me just see here, where is override graphics? Sorry, I couldn't find it. You need to have the, not the surface, the cut lines, cut patterns, this one. Let's say red again, and let's say solid, because we don't want to have lines for this. Alright, apply, and now you can see the cut line, or the cut face, is also red. So now we're gonna use Dynamo to do this for us. So we're gonna, in this tutorial, we're gonna read our parameter out. If you don't know how to do that, we have last week we posted a video how you can easily read out your data from a model. And if we have our data, or 30 for fire, we can make a list with all 30s needs to be color, for example, green. All 90s have to be the color red. Well, that's just an example. You can do it with every color you like. And in the end of the video we made a Python script, and it will override also the whole model with the colors, but it will also override the cut pattern. So I just showed you how you can do it in Revit, and in Dynamo you have a node, and it don't override the cut pattern. So if I go to by element, the cut pattern, and in Dynamo there is a node, but it doesn't allow you to override this option. So that's a little bit bad, but yeah, it works. So that's why it's basic. If you want to go further with it, so if you want to override the cut pattern, or you want to override the lines in a specific color, then you need to use Python, because there's no other way right now. Alright, let's open Dynamo and let's start with our script. Let me just undo the Python of the section box, sorry. Right, so, and let's go to Dynamo. I already opened it. Let's go to it. Dynamo. Alright, I opened a new file. I already called it fire protection, or fire YouTube Dyn, and this file is I'm gonna save it and I'll put it in the description as well, so you guys can see it yourself. And for this tutorial, we don't need a package, so we can just do it with the basic core nodes. So the first thing what we need is our color element. Let me see. Oh, my keyboard is sometimes disconnecting and then connecting, so it's really weird. Color element. Get color, no. Get pattern color, no. Override color in view. So this node allows us to override the color in view. So if you go back to our Revit, it will override all the elements in the current view. So my advice is to make a copy of your normal 3D. I'm gonna do that as well, duplicate. Because if you override your elements, there's no way back. Yeah, at least the undo button, like so. Undo, undo. But there's no, let me delete this, this was just for the test. There's no way to get the normal color pattern back. Yeah, at least not automatically. You cannot just say, I don't like it. If you saved your file, you close it and you open it again. So be aware of that. So always make a copy before you start with overriding colors and patterns. So I say duplicate view, duplicate, and we call it. Let me rename it, please. Rename 3D fire. Oh, fire, like so. Oh, all right, of course. Let me delete the brackets, like so. All right, this is our open view right now. This is our active view, and Dynamo will react to our active view with this node. So, what we need an element, and we need a color. And the output is an element, and the color is overridden. So, if I put in one wall, and I say color yellow, the element would be yellow. And it will be visible in our active view. All right. Well, that was a little explaining about how this works. So let's get started. First, we need our elements. So we say category. Category, yes, like this. And we say all elements of category. It's getting really standard right now, those two nodes, but we use them a lot because this allows us to get all our elements in a model from a certain category. So let's search for walls again. Walls. And we see, yes, we got 12 walls in our model. Well, that can be right. I don't know for sure, but I trust Dynamo. Let me close, yes, like so. And we can connect them directly. Now we need a color. So the really basic should be color by HRGB. This is the alpha, the red, green, and blue value. So let's say 0 for all of them. And then we get, I think, white it was, or black. Let me just quickly see. Black. As you can see, our whole wall, all our walls are black. This is not what we want, but this is a simple way you can do it. This is without a parameter value or something. This is just override the all elements of our category in a color. You can also make get type of your elements and then override the type with a special color. So for every other wall type, we override a color. But in this tutorial, we're gonna do it with a parameter element, so with fire protection. Let me just move this over here, because this is not the color that we want. We want for every parameter a separate color. So let me just disconnect this and let's see, change it back. No, doesn't really matter. What we're gonna do is first we need a parameter value. So let's search for parameter. Wow, my keyboard again. Seriously. Let's search for parameter value. Wow, it's really hard to type. Get parameter value by name. Yes. All right. Let's connect our element to it and let's give it a name. The name is always a string. So you can search for string or you can just use a code block. I'm going to use a code block because you can double click in your Dynamo file, double click, and you get a code block. I'm going to use a code block for this. Let me just type in name, fire, and let's close the string. This is a string in a code block, and if you type in a number, like 20, this is a number. Let me just close this. We're going to use it. Let's connect our parameter name, and as we can see, we have 30, 30, 30, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, 90, 90, 30, and 90. All right, now we need to make a range, a color range. So we're gonna search for color range, and we have here a color range. Yes, this node allows us to get a color range of certain numbers or values. Actually, that's better explained. So the input should be colors, a list of colors to include in the range. So this is a list of colors that you want to make a range of. So the default is all colors without white and black. And we have another input, a list of values between 0 and 1, which positions the input colors along the range. So what this means is it needs to be a list of values, and this list of values indicates the range of our colors. So first we put in our colors and then we say the range. So for example, the range is 0 to 1. That's our standard range. But you can also say, no, I want to have a range from 0.5 to 1. So it will only use the last half of our color range. And then we have a value, a list of values between 0 and 1. These values are used to look up the color within the range. So this is our element value, actually, what we're going to use. So this will search in our color range for 0.7. And it's searching for where is 0.7 in this block. So let me just show you how it a little bit works, because it's hard to explain actually. Alright, first let's make some colors. We used by HRGB. So let's use them, and let's say we have 3 different values, or we're gonna do it for 3 different values. So we need to have 3 colors. So we have color 1, color 2, and color 3. You don't have to give it an input. The standard value of this, the default value, is always 255. Default value address of the alpha, and the R, G, and B are 0 everywhere. As you can see, 0, 0, yes. Alright, but we don't want to use the 0, 0 because it was black. So let me just really quickly set up the colors. So we want to use, for our lowest value, we want to use green. We want to use yellow for our middle value, and we want to use red for our highest value. So first of all, we need 255. That's the highest value you can get. And let's connect it up to green. So the output of this node is green. Let me just show you. Connect it up to our element override color. Connect, please. Thank you. And here we go. Everything is green. So we know it's green. Now we need to set up our yellow and our red. So let me just copy this one. Let's connect to red and to green, because red and green making yellow. Just check. Yes. And now we need a red one. So let me copy this. And let's put it in DR for red. And now we need to make a list. So we say search for list. List grade. Oh, not twice. One time, please. And we add in 2 items because we have 3 items, and now we can put in 3 items. So color 1, we have color 2, and we have color 3. And now we can connect our colors to our color range because this is our range. So let's connect it up. And you can see it made our color range from green to yellow to red. Let's make the second input the indices. For this example, we just use 3 because we have 3 values. And to keep it simple, we can just divide our values through 100. So let me just show you what I mean. First, our indices. Our index is 0.3. Close it with that one. 0.6 and 0.9. Like so. And let's connect it to our list, all the 3, and let's connect the list to our indices. So now everything with 0.3 gets the first color, 0.6 get the second color, and 0.9 get the last color. It's in the range there. So let me just move it a little bit to here. Now we get our value. Our value is something, it picks the color, actually. That's what the value is doing. And we can use our value from our parameter name to pick a color. So for example, if we divide it, I just told you, divide. We connect our list of parameter values and we say divide through 100. Now we get a list of 0.3, 0.6, we have 0.9, and if we connect it to our value, we have the colors that we get back. Red is 153, green is 255. Well, it goes to, it depends on your value and it depends on your indices. So it gives us a color back right now. We get 13 colors back, or 12 actually, sorry. 12 colors back, and we have 12 elements as well. 12 elements. So if we connect our color to our element override color in view. Whoa, that was my computer. And we go back to our Revit file. We can see everything is colored in. And you can also see that the node element override color in view, it overrides also the lines. And that's not, maybe you don't want it. It gets really weird sometimes, as you can see. But we can see in a blink of an eye, oh, this wall's 90. Let me just see, yeah, it's 90. This wall's 90. Yes, it's 90. And this wall should be all 30 because they're green. And the yellow ones should be 60. So let me see, 60. 60. And let's just get one 30. Yeah, that's right. And now I can see easily which wall is as which minutes to the fire resistance. You can also do this with a lot of parameters actually. I just used fire rating because, yeah, it's really simple to understand. You can also do it, for example, for your length, if you want it. You can also do it for, I don't know, your area or your unconnected height. You can do it for all kinds of parameters as long as it is a number. No, it doesn't have to be a number, but you need to transform it to a number in Dynamo. So let me just show you what I mean. The color range indicates on the value input, and the value input is a number between 0 and 1. So you always have to convert your parameter value or something else to a number between 0 and 1. And I only used a value between 0 and 1, of 0 and 100 actually. I can divide it by 100 and I have my actual value. So that's it for the basics of coloring and analyzing. We with Your Ydea made also a script. This script is in Python, so we can control the override node actually. We don't use the node. We write our own lines to let it override, and we can control our what it exactly overrides. So it doesn't override the all border lines, for example. So it won't turn on whole green, but like this, if I go stand on it with my mouse. So let's go back to Dynamo and let me save this script for you. So this script would be in the description. And oh, one last thing. If you leave it to automatic, and for example, I'm in my project and I want to create another wall, because that's really handy about Dynamo. It won't work for Python scripts. And let's say the wall is here 60 minutes. Oh, my keyboard is doing weird again. 60 minutes. And you can see it immediately gets a color. If I change my thing to 90, it will color. Yes, there it is. It's red. So it will update immediately if you leave it to automatic. So let's go back to Dynamo, to automatic. You can also say I want it on manual and it won't update immediately. And let's save it finally. And let's open the script that Your Ydea made. So let me close this one. Let's say open fire Your Ydea. Yes, open. All right. This is a script that we made at our company. We just use a code block for our category. I showed you that in the last video, I think, for data. Yeah, it's a little bit the same, but it has other codes. I use my parameter name, and I can give in a pattern. So I can also choose, no, I don't want solid, I want, for example, brickwork. And then we have our Python script, and I say transaction end because I got some trouble with it when the transaction was active. Well, it's a quite difficult story, but let's go into the Python script. We write a couple of classes for this, and then we override our, we do it right here, view, set element override, and then a couple of variables that it needs. But what it does is I first search for the if something's smaller than 30, it gets green. If it's smaller than 60, it gets yellow. If it's smaller than 90, it gets red. That's what this Python script does. And I can say the pattern, and the pattern is somewhere here. Yes, this is the pattern. So accept, let's run the script. Immediately has a trouble. Non-type, I don't give in a pattern. Really great. Let's go to solid, because I want mine solid. Run the script, and it's done. It gives out my element IDs, so I can see which one is overridden. And if I go back to our Revit file, you can see, as you can see, it's the result is, I think it's better because it doesn't override the lines of the wall. And if I go to section box, if I put it on, I can just go lower, and you can see it also overrides the cut pattern and the cut color. So now I can go in height and go lower. I can slice through the model, and it's everywhere green or yellow, it doesn't really matter. This helps me a lot to analyze data. Let me select it off. This is our model. And for example, if you go back to our Dynamo, and I say a solid, but I can also say what I just said earlier in the video. I can say, I want it, let's see, brickwork. Not all the patterns will work, because some patterns are drafting and some patterns are model, and model patterns don't work. So if I say run, I don't really know in my head. Well, I'm sorry guys for the noise. This one works, brickwork. Let's go back to our file. And you can see it gets the brickwork pattern on every element with the corresponding color. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next week.